just transition refers to a framework that is supported by policies that encompasses a range of social interventions needed to secure workers' rights and livelihoods when we shift to a low-carbon, climate-resilient economy. Now, even if the just transition has started in the context of labor movement in 1970s, it expanded and branched out now to other areas such as in climate change.
So just transition is very simple. If we want to transition to a green, low carbon, resilient economy, kailangan natin tingnan sinong matatalo by interventions we make, which communities will suffer, and how do we help them to adjust? How do we help them to transition so that a green economy is not, something that will affect them negatively?
Right now, it's not really a question of does it include the economy, di ba? Kasi obvious naman that it does. But what else? Parang if consider just transition as a concept and everything that it means or could mean, is it better for us to limit it to economic aspects and the workforce? Or should we start looking at it in a more holistic manner? Climate change is not limited to environmental impacts, for example, nor is it limited to economic impacts or changes. It finds its way into all issues and exacerbates them. I'm personally interested in understanding what just transition means to the people on the ground. So if they're given an understanding of just transition or a definition of just transition and its objectives, would they take away from that? What does just transition mean for them and for their sector? And how do they think it can be achieved? So this goes one step further from just asking them what they're experiencing. It also allows them to have a hand in the development of solutions.
Main principle for us is that there should be no modernization without just transition. That's the main principle. Having said that, the just transition would include the transport workers would transition into transport cooperatives. In itself is a difficult thing to do, but that's very doable. No? Two, the government will support these transport cooperatives to the point that it would even provide subsidies so that they can procure new vehicles. Subsidies not only in procuring vehicles, but also in making sure that they have access to easy loans para makabili sila ng bagong unit and then slowly pay for it as they go along. Third, there is also a need to make sure na yung service contracting ay ma-institutionalize natin, no? Because that's the only way that we can stop having this boundary system, which is a brutal system, to be honest, no, para sa maraming mga transport workers natin.
Renewable energy in itself is so disruptive. For the first time in, kumbaga, sa usapin ng history ng humanity, power and energy has always been at the hands ng mga may kaya, may kapangyarihan, the corporations, because it's so centralized. And renewable energy disrupts that. binabago na yung landscape. And so it has opened up the possibility that even the power sector will automatically be, once it is pushed and expanded, that real democracy in terms of the power sector can actually be achieved.
Because a regenerative economy incorporates principles of caring and sacredness, principles of cooperation that are very much and caring for nature that are very much part of what women do.
I don't think there has been really any rigorous study or any detailed study done looking into all of these laws and all of the actors who are involved and trying to basically make sense of all of it, trying to make it more coherent. Because one of the biggest problems that we see in the environmental sector, for example, is that there's a lot of siloism that's happening. And evidence-based policymaking.
The recommended actions for governments and businesses is on how to reduce greenhouse gas emissions while enabling economic vitality. So that means that no one should be left behind if we want to reduce or mitigate GHG emissions.